Hello, future Canadian lovebirds! Trying to bring your partner closer to the heart of Canada? You know how sometimes you start a puzzle and then discover you're missing some pieces. That's how the immigration process can feel sometimes. But don't worry, today I'm ensuring you've got every piece you need for your spousal sponsorship application. Now we'll tackle relationship evidence. I will guide you through the documents required to prove your relationship in your application. Let's explore how you can showcase that you and your spouse are truly committed and looking to settle together in Canada. So, what kind of proof is needed for your application? When it comes to proving your relationship for spousal sponsorship in Canada, the evidence you need to provide will depend on the type of your application. That can be inland or outland sponsorship application. But what does it mean? Outland sponsorship is when the sponsor person is outside of Canada and you are not living together. An inland sponsorship application is when the person being a sponsor is already in Canada and living together with the sponsor. 1. Proof of contact for outland applications. This includes things like letters, phone messages, social media chats, and any other records that show you've been communicating. Now, what represents good proof of contact? First, begin by reflecting on the duration of your relationship. Say you've been together for 2 years. You want to show chats from when you first met all the way up to now. Don't just share recent chats. It's important to give evidence from way back so the immigration officer sees the history of your relationship. When considering how many conversation pages to submit, Immigration Canada recommends limiting to about 10 pages. Make them count. Pick out the most meaningful chats that highlight key moments in your relationship from when you first met up to the time of your application submission. Now, if your messages are in languages other than English or French, that's not an issue. Just ensure you include the original with an official translation. 2. Proof of visit for outland applications. You need to show evidence that you and your spouse met in person. How? Here's what you can provide. Boarding passes. These are important. So even if you have the plane tickets, boarding passes are better because they prove that you actually were on the flight. So include your boarding passes with your application instead of flight tickets if you still have them. If not, flight tickets are good as well. Also, you should include passport stamps, because this shows when and where you enter or left the country. But remember, not all countries stamp passports all the time. So if you don't have a stamp, don't worry. In such cases, provide other evidence that proves both of you were together in the same location at the same time, like hotel receipts or bookings or whatever you have. I've talked so far at number 1 about proof of contact for outland applications, and at number 2 we talk about proof of visits for outland applications. Now for inland applications, Immigration Canada doesn't usually ask for evidence of past contacts or visits. However, I always recommend including proof of previous visits and communication from before you live together. It helps show the history of your relationship, and I think it's always better to provide a bit extra than to risk leaving something out. 3. Evidence that you are living or have lived together. So for those living together for an inland sponsorship application, it's important to provide documents that displays both of your names at the same address. Here are some ways you can show this. Property ownership. If you jointly own a property, provide a title certificate showing both names. Rental agreement. If you are renting, include the lease agreement that shows both your names. Joint accounts, offering proof of joint utility accounts like gas, internet, phone, or joint bank accounts is strong evidence of your shared life. Other government documents like driver licenses, so any official document showing the same residential address for both of you can be added to your spousal sponsorship application. While the immigration officer expects at least 2 documents confirming the same address, if you have more, don't hesitate to include all of them. For those who are not currently living together but did at a point in the past, please provide proof of past cohabitation as well. At number 4, joint documentation. For both inland and outland applications, you need to include joint documentation with your submission. These documents can vary from credit card statements, lease agreements, property purchase or sales documents, bank statements, investment statements, to even, insurance policies, gym memberships, employment or insurance benefits. Anything that is joint matters. I understand that for those overseas, it may be challenging to provide even one joint document. However, try and make an effort. It's highly recommended. 5. Proof of shared finances as evidence of financial support between you and your spouse, and shared expenses if there are any. So even if you aren't regularly transferring money between each other, it's important to demonstrate that you both contribute to expenses and support each other financially to show that there is that financial interdependency in the relationship. Hey, I hope you are enjoying this video so far. If you are looking to immigrate to Canada without dealing with complicated and confusing immigration forms and rules, right below this video you'll find a link to book a call to speak with me or my team so we can tell you how we can make your immigration process less stressful. Now, back to the video. Number 6, 20 pictures. Regardless of whether you live together or not, include 20 pictures in your spousal sponsorship application. These photos should cover the duration of your relationship, beginning, if possible, with your first date, if you have any pictures from that moment, and continuing up to the present moment. In a spousal sponsorship application, the relationship photos play a significant role. It's important to show a variety of events and moments, not just major celebrations as weddings. Avoid submitting multiple selfies. Immigration Canada is not interested in these selfies. What they want to see a collection of pictures that reflects the natural progression of your relationship over time. So includes pictures that features friends and family from both sides, demonstrating the recognition of your partner. Arrange these images chronologically to narrate the story of your relationship from its beginning to your current status as married or common law partners. Number 7, evidence that friends and family recognize your relationship. This can be done through letters of reports, social media comments, or any other material that shows people around you recognize and support your relationship as genuine. Especially for common law relationships, letters from friends and family hold significant value. Also, when there is limited documentation to support your relationship, these letters can be a vital asset. Well, the letters should confirm that both sides of the family are aware of and acknowledge your relationship. Also, the letters should be detailed, outlining when you first met the other partner, their observations about your relationship, events attending together, and any other personal stories or experience that highlight the authenticity of your bond. Ideally, you should include around 4 to 5 letters from both the sponsor and the applicant sides, totaling 8 to 10 letters. This can be from friends, relatives, and even other significant people in your life. For instance, from the priest, if they play a role in ceremonies like your wedding. Number 8, your relationship story. When putting together an application, I recommend adding a detailed relationship story. The relationship information form has a section where it asks for more details about your relationship. This section is a chance for you to share more about your journey together. You can talk about your first date, how your relationship developed, and any other special memories. This story helps the reviewing officer get a fuller picture of your relationship. By including this, you can share things that may not fit in other parts of the application and address any possible questions the officer may have. And lastly, at number 9, if you cannot provide all the documents specified in the checklist provided by Immigration Canada for this type of application, please submit a written explanation detailing the reasons. Additionally, provide any other evidence to demonstrate that you have a genuine relationship. I've included in the video description a link to the document checklist for spousal sponsorship. Please check this checklist before submitting your application. So that's everything for today. I hope that this information was helpful for you. If you have any questions regarding your Canadian spousal sponsorship application, I will be happy to help. Click the link below to book a call with us. And don't forget, life is good and it's getting better. See you in Canada, my friend. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, take a moment right now to subscribe right below and turn on the notification button to get notified every time I post a video. Thanks for watching.